Hello farmers and welcome back to Hazzard County, Georgia. It's still the first day of summer and yeah, it's still raining. But it's the evening hours and I've been doing contracts. I think I got 6 or 7, somewhere in there, about finished. And yeah, we're going to bring in some cash, pay off as much of the loans as we can before we head to bed so our loan interest at midnight is not as bad. But in doing all the contracts, like I always do, like I always keep telling you, is what do you do when you're in the field just making circles? Yeah, you put your mind to work and start thinking of what to do with the farm. What's the future of the farm? Where you going with the farm? Money situations, all that fun stuff. And yeah, we got some things to kind of go over to plan for the future while we collect some of these contracts and go to bed and wake up next morning and do more contracts because I have nothing to do in the 3 fields that we own. The only thing I really have to do is take the class tractor that we have and head over to our grass field and give it a good fertilization, which would take just a couple seconds. But this is the Arion? Yeah. The 660. Do have the narrow tires on it. I'm getting stuck on the other one so you can see how it looks with narrow tires. Kind of looks a little weird, but don't they all? Mostly with narrow tires on it. So yeah, I've been doing some wonderful fertilization contracts. Let's go in here and we can see the ones that we have done. So fertilized field 70 for 21,700. Thank you. Sowed field 11 for 6,500. Let's collect that. Fertilized field 71, which is good because we're right next to field 70, for 31,600. Cultivated field 75 for 6,500. Sowed field 14 for 5,600. Cultivated field 74 for 5,600. And the last one's field 28, sold that one for $5,000. All right, so that brings us up to $85,000 in our bank account. Kind of. The bank gets all that. So let's go ahead and repay as much as I can here. Oh, yeah, look at that. We're below $1 million. And then we're going to wake up and we're going to be $10,000 in the red. We're in the red here anyways. Yeah, so let's head to bed and get rid of this rain. Also today, and I had to redo this while some of the contracts were going on, there was an update to the animal extension for the water pipes. So when I logged in, the pipes were back here, so I had to reset those. We can see our sheep are, well, they haven't made any wool since I logged in. I probably should clean out some of the grass, but really they don't have enough of it here, and really I'm not too concerned about it for a couple of reasons. So if we come on over to here, I did shut all the gates. I did bring my fertilizer in here, as we can see right there. I used some of it for our spreader. But if we go over to our grass bales, none of our grass bales read 4,000 liters now, so the grass is slowly decaying. It is, you know, at least it's in the barn, so it should be fine-ish, but it's still going to decay. Yeah, if only if it was turned into hay, it wouldn't decay as fast. Actually, I don't know if when you turn it into hay bales, if it decays as much anyways. Got our animal trailer there, a pickup truck there. So we're all set to head into the second day of summer and see what the morning brings. I think if we sleep just 10 hours, that'll bring us to 6 a.m. And I think it should be kind of daylight by then. Yeah, so we're actually only $8,800 in the red, which is not bad at all. I do have speed down to ×1 just for now. If we look at our crops are looking really good. Let's go to the map here. I haven't checked to see if weeds have started to grow yet. I got to turn all this stuff back on here. Yeah, so our fields are looking really good. There's no sign of weeds in here whatsoever. There's our grass field that we have to fertilize. And like I said, last episode we kind of looked at these fields here. These are corn fields. I also looked at these fields here. So I guess it all depends on when the last day of summer comes, what we actually have for cash and what we can do with it. I would like to be able to have or borrow in total $1 million. And right now, I don't think we're anywhere near that. But we got like 4 days of summer to do contracts. And even though I spent almost $300,000 just saying new vehicles and whatnot, I still made a profit from doing all the contracts. So right now we're almost at $400,000 that I can borrow up to. Yeah, where's the contracts? Is that right? No, where's... Oh, there's my contracts I did. $181,000 worth of contracts. Hopefully this morning there is some really good contract. I'm not cultivating field 56. That's just not going to happen. It's a terrible looking field. Ooh, these contracts, nothing looking really good at all. Yeah, so there's that. I'm really thinking for the combine harvesters, and just because maybe it's new and it's here, will be the class Lexion right here. It is a $500,000 though compared to the one I thought I was going to use. There is a Dominator, but for the fields that we got and we can do contract works on, definitely something like that. But it was either going to be that one or the John Deere, which is a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper. So depending on how the money situation is, we might get this to John Deere to start with. And then when we start doing sowing contracts at the end of summer, early fall, and selling the extra grain that we get out the fields and finishing the contracts, we might be able to dig into the class Lexion. But that stays away. We are in the second day of summer. So let's get the first job done, which is take care of our own grass fields. Actually, what I want to see is, so we slept 10 hours at night. Let's go and take just a quick look at our grass bales and see what they're doing. The one thing, if they're deteriorating a lot, and I lost about 100 liters in 10 hours in that bale, give or take. So that's not too bad. I thought about bringing it over to the Total Mix Rations, the silage maker silo, if you will. And but I don't know if that will take a solid bale. I may have to cut it and then put it into a trailer and then dump it in. But I'm not sure it's even worth it because I was looking at this before I started recording. Yeah, if you remember, the prices of silage here are still not the greatest. It's only like $100, $125 at best-ish. So is it worth it to go ahead and make silage and sell it? Or just keep the grass bales and slowly feed the sheep? Speaking of sheep, let's take a quick look and see what they're up to. Yep, still have not added no wool, which is interesting. Do you guys prefer some water? This is something I'm going to have to learn to do for seasons, is probably give them water every morning before I start work. In seasons in 19, you can the water and food's only good for like 2 days. I probably should check to make sure. Yeah, they got plenty of grass and hay from the field still. And actually, it says they're kind of messy this morning, but I don't see nothing there, or it hasn't. It may not have reset from midnight yet. Anyways, let's jump into our class. Arion, I almost said Lexion. I should have enough fertilizer to do our grass field, and it's going to take us a really quick second here. Yeah, but our oats, we have an oat and a wheat field right here that we'll be harvesting in the fall, but that's going to be for our chickens, and I don't know if it's actually going to be our horses. We're just actually getting stable fees for it, so that's all it's really for. Can I fertilize this today? Yes, I can. So I'm hoping that we can cut this grass. We should be able to when the fall comes and get one more cut out of this, but I'm going to try to wait for a good day in the fall and make sure they are hay bales, because we have to go through the winter feeding our sheep, because the sheep are not going to eat no grass from their field. There's going to be no grass in the winter. And the same thing for the horses. They're going to require some hay as well. But as we did see, we got a good amount off the 2 fields that we cut. So I think we should be okay. Now, in seasons 19, I do believe, and I haven't checked, but you don't have to pay for the horses. So when fall comes and we harvest our oats, we can just go get the horses. I will get them with the trailer because I want to pay transporting fees, but we can go get them with the trailer. The horses are free. And yeah, you just have to maintain your horses. Now, I think I looked into this when I did a season's how-to. Having the horse helper on and getting stable fees, you're not getting that much cash for it. But I think we'll do it just because, well, we can. So there, we didn't use too much fertilizer there on our own grass field. And that's going to be good for at least a couple days before it grows and I can fertilize it again. I think what I'll do here is I'll have a look around at some contracts, where the fields are, and I'll come back and see if we got any good contracts here or not. we better because, yeah, like I said, I need like another $600,000 by the end of summer here. So we're sitting at 400. The good news is I really don't have to buy. Of course, here I am. I'm gonna, kick myself in the butt. We really don't have to buy anything at the moment until fall or late summer, early fall comes. That's when we'll have to buy our combine, the header, and the trailer to put the grain in. So, I mean, there's 3 things that we have to buy. I think we got everything else all set. Like I said, we don't really need anything. But let me go ahead and I'm going to go look at some contracts, get some of these vehicles going, and we'll be doing a contract ourselves. Just to pass the summer day and bring some cash into our lovely little farm here. It's actually going to be a nice sunny day, it looks like. Well, I have found a contract for us, and only one really. There are starting to be some contracts coming up for cutting grass fields and baling, but then wrapping and making silos bales. So I can't quite do that. Ooh, I do got plenty of seed in here to do what I need to do. We're grabbing the seed drill. We're going to be planting some cotton, if I can find it here. And field 60 is where? Oh, way over here in the northeast. All right. There's a couple ways to get there. I think we've been there before. I'll probably go on and head this way. Down and around. I think that's the way we'll go. Go to field 60, and when we get done, I can always drive back going this way and kind of driving past some of the fields that we could purchase. So, yeah, we've been looking at field 72, 73. Still no contracts on that. But, those fields there are just shy of $300,000. These fields right here we saw last episode, $425,000. Then I was like, any chance? And I said, oh, there's a good chance there. That's $400,000 and $400,000-ish. I'm looking for like fields over here because we're going to probably start moving some stuff over to this farm area here. There's more sheds and whatnot, and plus there is a silo here, I do believe. Chickens is something we will be. I don't want to accidentally hit something here. Let's turn that off. Yeah, so there's a chicken coop here that we will be using, and there is a farm silo. Isn't there a farm silo here? Where's that farm silo? I thought I was here somewhere. I don't know. I forgot now. Maybe it's up here somewhere. But anywho, let's head on over to field 60. Do I want to top off on seed just in case? Because yeah, we're going right past there anyways. So let's go ahead and top off the seed. Seems like a good plan anyways. Although my plans don't always come out the way you think they should. As we all know by now. So 6 o'clock in the morning in the summer. Yeah, as you can see, the sun's up. I can probably start waking up. I keep forgetting I have an early turn there, and I go right past it every time. Well, every time I'm recording. When I'm not recording, it's like, hey, I got a turn here. So, yeah, so by the end of summer, basically what it seems like is I got to do like $150,000 worth of contracts every day. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. Am I not in the trigger? There we go. Yeah, not much seed to gather, but I just want to make sure we are topped off. I'm pretty sure there's a fill point over there somewhere yet, but I know where this one is, and the other ones when I go by, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a fill point there. I have to remember. Then like 5 minutes later, it's like I forgot. So yeah, the biggest thing that's on my mind is when the end of summer comes, how am I going to do this? And we might just buy the John Deere harvester and start doing contracts. And then when we start selling grain from doing other farms' contracts, the money would really come in then, and I can probably buy the Class Flexion then, and then be doing like a couple fields at once. But the problem is only one trailer. That's going to be a problem. So yeah, we'll just have to take it as we go along here. You can see some farmers' fields are really starting to grow. We got some corn here on the right. It seems kind of weird that I'm seeding some things here in the second day of summer, but I really haven't looked at the geo yet to see when I should be planting cotton on this map. Someone did ask me actually today what geo I am using for this map right now. Right now I'm using, I do believe it's called the USA Midwest. I haven't found one for southern US. I do see for the US, I do see like Montana, Oregon. I think I saw one for Wisconsin. But I haven't seen one for the south yet. But then again, I haven't checked all the sites. The mod sites, just to see what's out there. I did check the mod hub for... I did not want to turn here. What was I saying? Oh yes, I did check Giant's mod hub, and they don't have one for southern US. Actually, I don't think I wanted to go this way at all, did I? Oh yeah, I did. I want to turn by field 41. Alright. I'm getting to know the map a little bit, and when I get too confident, that's when I'm like, no, I turned at the wrong spot, but I'm in the rough area where I need to be. So yeah, I'm using the USA Midwest geo. So that's probably about the closest one I could find right now. If you do know of a southeastern USA geo, then let me know, and I might change. Well, yeah, might change over. Probably will change over because we are in the southeast of the USA. That's where Georgia kind of is, right down there by Florida. Anyways, this road's a little bumpy. Let's not get hit by the train. Oh, the other thing I was going to do, and I didn't do it. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the hour meter on this Dude's Fire is, yeah, it's just barely over 23 hours. And I do believe when this hits 25 hours, I could start running into problems with this thing firing up. Is it 20? I'm looking at the repair meter as well, and that's getting... I thought it was 25, but it might be 30 hours, or is it 28? Somewhere in there. So when I hit that threshold, if it's anything like 17, basically what's going to start happening is the tractor's going to be harder to start. It'll start just quitting on you as you're running, and it'll happen more and more frequent as you're using your machinery. Did I miss my turn? I think I did, because I'm too busy jabbering along here. Or is that the said bridge I need to go over? No, I think I'm kind of going in the general direction I need to go. Right here, I do believe. The train just went through, so I'm just going to go ahead and chance it. And we are on the edge of the map here. There's a lot of places to make seed here. That's for sure. Need to take it easy going over some of these areas. Alright, which one is field 60? This one right here. And definitely a field this big, I probably should be using GPS. Because it'll just save me a whole bunch of time. Well, it won't save me time, but it'll save me a whole bunch of fun trying to get everything lined up. I will do the headlands at the top and bottom. We'll go ahead and get GPS all set up. Actually, this might be the first field when I did my first episode. I was having a hard time getting the contracts all set up. And it was because I was trying to use a subsoiler as a plow, and the game's like, nah, we still don't allow that. And I was like, why not? Why not? Alright, so it's actually been a while since I've actually used GPS. So, is it Alt? Yeah, Alt-C, yeah, okay, that's the correct button. Alt-E brings that up. Oh yeah, that's nice. Do I have... Nope, that's seasons. Okay, is it Control-S? Snap angle. Snap train angle's on. Yes. I think that's all good. Alright, so Alt-E for point A. Yes, I'm doing a lot of talking to myself, but then again, I record YouTube videos, so I'm always talking to myself. I think that looks good right there. Yes. Turn GPS on and we shall start. So I already forgot how much we're getting paid. I don't think I showed you actually how much we're getting paid for this contract. It's like 20,000. All I did was go out the page and I did a couple things and came back and this one was there. So Sow Field 60 for $20,738. Yeah, you can see the last one I looked at was baling for $8,004. I'm like, oh, do I just have to do grass? And it says, no, make silage bales. It's like, okay, well, I don't have a wrapper, and I'm not going to buy a wrapper just to get paid $8,000. And then there's a lot of transportation that I got to do, and it's not worth it. So there's a few contracts out there, and I'm kind of looking for home run hitters. So like anything, in the double digits of the $1,000, like over $10,000. That's what we kind of need. So yeah, our goal is by the last day of summer. So that's the 6th day of summer. Yeah, can I have $1 million in the bank account as long as I don't buy any more stuff other than seed and fertilizer? We should be okay. The good news is, as I'm seeing, fertilizing fields do pay. As you saw, we just got paid to do 70 and 71 for almost $30,000 a piece. And it doesn't take long with that spreader to go ahead and get that done. The class does a really good job. The one thing I was doing before I went over, as you saw, I put the narrow tires on it because I wasn't sure what stage of fields we're in. And as I was doing, as Course Play was doing the last field, I was like, I could have just went in the PDA to the field and just saw what growth stage it was on, and just could have went with regular tires. But either way, I didn't have to pay for the narrow tires. We've already kind of paid for that in a way, I suppose. So yeah, if I can get a lot of fertilizing contracts done today, if I can do like 4 fertilizing contracts for $30,000 a piece and get $120,000 a day just by doing that, along with sowing contracts, that would be great as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I need to hit $1 million. I don't have to because, like I said, the John Deere and the header is a lot cheaper than the Lexion and the header. The header is going to be the same header either way. It's going to be the 45-foot header that we're going to throw on there. I've already checked. It does fit the class Lexion. And that is the modded header that we have. Ooh, and this field is almost perfect for GPS. Look at that. I can just do a headland and go down this other side. But I thought this was kind of perfect to take on this contract because really I don't think we've done much seeding on this field. I mean, I've done a lot of seeding, but that's, that's contracts. And I've been doing that like off camera. But you're not going to watch me do this whole field because this will take a while. This will probably take me like 30 to 40 minutes, I would assume, to sow this field. Somewhere in there. Well, if I know on a field this size, if I were to do Course Play, it would take them that long. But maybe I turn a little bit faster than Course Play. And with GPS, it's going to make our job a little bit easier, so maybe not as long. So I'm pretty sure I'll put in a little bit of a time lapse in here with a little bit of tunes for us. Probably pretty soon as well. But yeah, we'll get this this field sown. Actually, I need to turn up the speed to back up to ×5. I kind of forgot I left it at ×1. And I had it at ×1 the night before, and I was doing some contracts, and I was getting late, and I'm like, I don't want to try to, finish up these contracts while it's dark, so I turned down the ×1, so that's why I did it. So yeah, when I was doing, like I said, when I was doing the contracts, I was looking around the map when Course Play was doing its thing in some of the fields. And I was trying to look at the fields and like, okay, well, here's a decent price for a size field. And I keep looking at the quote-unquote farm that we have. And I put down that one shed, and it's like I'm already running out of room. I don't even have a trailer, combine, header, all that stuff. And I'm like, you know what? That place where the chickens are, they got a few amount of sheds there. That'd be a good place for the combine and the header. But unfortunately, I can't buy that land, but I can use it. I mean, I can buy the land. I don't have the cash for the land. I think that property right there is over $1 million, so yeah, I'm a little shy of that. Now, the other thing I need to take consideration as well when the end of summer comes, if I buy the land first, I probably will be able to borrow more cash. It's kind of weird how it works that way. You got to buy more land in order to borrow more cash, but buying more vehicles and equipment, it's almost like the game doesn't see that as your farm increasing in value. I'm just looking down, so I do want to check something. So I've used 11% of seed, and we are 18% done. So I should be able to finish this whole field with the amount of seed that we have. And now that I'm thinking about it, when we get done with this field and complete the contract, that should put us over $400,000. That just means $600,000 more to go. Yeah, I'm really itching for the end of summer and early fall to start harvesting, so I can take on big contracts, get paid the contract, and the extra grain you get out the field, go ahead and sell that. And that's when we can start really expanding the farm, I do believe. Don't think we'll be doing cows the first season, just because we won't have anything ready for cows. Going to need silage. You know the stuff that we need. I think we're just going to stick to the chicken, sheep, and the horses to start the first season. That's the plan, and then we'll probably look into doing some cows maybe the second season at some point. But yeah, we're only in the second, we're in the last day of early summer, if that makes any sense. Tomorrow will be midsummer. But anyways, I need to get this field done, so we can get our $20,000-ish, somewhere in there. So I think when I talk about that time lapse, this might be a good spot for it. So I'll see you somewhere in the middle of the field when we're just about done. Sound about right? All right, I'll see you in about a minute or so.
Laying on the beach with sunlight in my eyes, laughing with my friends under the sky, following our hearts, so then we take a ride wherever. I always try to let my spirit fly, fly away. That's the only way to get that high, high, always. If you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle. If you're looking for trouble, I am the needle who will push your bubble, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna fight pieces wood, I'm not backing down. So if you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle. Here's what I like: jumping from a roof that is almost too high, laying on the grass, I close my eyes, playing my guitar till my fingers are numb. I always try to let my spirit fly, fly away. That's the only way to get that high, high, always. If you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle. If you're looking for trouble, I am the needle who will push your bubble, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna fight pieces wood, I'm not backing down. So if you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle.
I know what you're thinking, and from one simulated farmer to another, I'll tell you that you're probably right. I need a bigger implement for fields like this. But given the money situation, and the contract is complete, but we'll finish the row anyways because I feel like doing so today. But yeah, it's the money situation. I could go ahead and get a bigger seed drill. And then I got too big of a seed drill for our own fields right now. We work with what we got, but this seed drill is not bad, this modded seed drill that we have. I mean, if it didn't have the higher capacity of seed, the lower consumption rate of seed and fertilizer, and the working speed not bumped up to 16 miles an hour, yeah, this seed drill would be, oh man, it'd be a struggle to want to work in this field. So I was pretty close. It's been 28 minutes as we speak right now seeding this field. I said about a half an hour, 35 minutes. I forgot what I said. Rewind the tape, you'll see. Rewind the tape. Is this 1980? Rewind the video. Yeah, and you'll see what I said, or hear what I said. So yeah, it's not that bad for a field this size, getting it done in a half an hour. And we're going to get paid a good amount of cash and get us over $400,000. So, like the usual thing in between episodes, I'm going to try to find more contracts to do. Will I bring it back this in-game day? Probably. I try to keep the contracts up that I finished so you can see which ones I did and how much I'm getting paid. And just saying I'm not cheating in the money or something like that, but because I'm trying to earn the money the correct way, the right way. Make sure I hit the brake pedal, not the clutch pedal, because that's one big ditch you don't want to go into. Turn that off, turn that off. Let's make so GPS is turned off, and turn that off. So yeah, I try to keep all the contracts up, but the problem is, and I want to collect the cash before midnight so I can pay off some of the loan, so the interest on the loan is not so high. Let's go ahead and collect that. That's good. Any of the contracts come up in the past hour or so? Probably not. So what I'll probably do is, let me get the map up and see exactly how it says and get out of here. Turn around on the road I'm on. Hopefully there's a bridge here. Or am I going along? Yes, there is a bridge going right across here. So I'll head on back to the farm because right now I have nothing else planned for right now. But I need some better contracts to come along. But sometimes I can do that on this map by save the game, exit, and reloading it, and then new contracts will pop up. So sometimes I do that. It helps. It definitely helps. Doing, contracts for a couple $1,000s is not. Usually it's not bad, but yeah, we're trying to get the cash flow going here. So when the end of summer comes, I would really I would like to buy the Class Lexian to begin off with, but it might be the John Deere. Either way, I haven't used either harvester. I have never used a John Deere harvester on any farming simulator I've been playing since FS13. Never used a John Deere. I think I need to go this way. Class I have, but not the Lexian. Because I think the Lexian is the new Combine Harvester Series 4 class, I do believe. As I try to finagle my way out of these fields. There's the radio tower. So I do believe if I turn left here, it'll bring me past the farm area. Well, yeah, there's Cletus's, I think it's Cletus. That's where we buy our sheep from. I thought about buying some more sheep because right now their pen can only take, their food trough, I should say, only takes like, we'll just say 1,000 liters. And from what I got told, if I stick a 4,000 liter bale in there, it's going to consume the whole bale, but only feed up the trough to 1,000. So I'm going to lose the 3,000 liters. I mean, if it does right now, I guess that's fine because I got grass bales. I cannot sell grass. Well, you can sell grass bales, you just get nothing for them. So yeah, so there's the grain silo right there. And these are the fields to the right that I think we're looking at buying. Have to see what happens when late summer comes. Take the corner here. Head back to the farm. But yeah, we did get a contract done, so now we have the capability of having $400,000 to spend. I just need another $600,000, and I got like 4 or 5 days to do it. But if worst comes, if we don't get that 1 million, we'll just get like the John Deere harvester. Start plugging off some contracts and getting paid on the big fields. and then selling the extra grain that we get, and that should easily give us more and more cash. I mean, just look at the size of these fields, and usually you have to complete, I think, about 90% of the whole field, meaning harvest and selling, and then you get like the extra 5%. It seems that right about in that general area, I would say. So just imagine getting 5% of the grain off that one field to the right and selling that. I mean, you could be talking about, 60, 70,000 liters of what have you, whatever you're harvesting. But yeah, since it's only early morning here, I got plenty of the day to go. The weather does look good. The one thing I do want to check when I get back, though, is I want to check the seasons page just to see what the sowing seasons look like. Because we are, like I said, we are in early summer, so I would assume... Ooh, somehow missed the car. I would assume that at this point, anything should be able to be planted. And once again, I am using the geo of the USA Midwest geo. And if you do have this, if you do have like a Southern USA, Georgia kind of a geo, let me know. And I'll look into it. And if it's the correct geo, then we will switch on over to it. Let's park that right there for now, because I'm pretty sure I'll be using it again shortly. So cotton, yeah, you can plant cotton all the way up to the 4th day or the end of, midsummer. Same thing with soybeans and corn. Well, corn is getting to be near the end. And what else can I seed? Not much for root crop, that's for darn sure. But grass, poplar, and oilseed radish. So basically, it looks like contracts are going to be for seeding for soybeans. Corn may be just about done. But soybeans and cotton are about the only things left. Harvest, yes, you could harvest wheat and barley this time of the year, but you would have to plant it in the fall. And we might actually get to do that, actually, because I don't mind doing that in seasons, because we might have time the first year to do it. It just gives us some harvesting to do in the early summer. And we might need that wheat for the chickens and or what have you. But at least it'll give us a whole section. It'll be basically, I can get my harvesting done early next summer, and that'll leave me the whole fall to do contracts. And harvesting contracts, I think, are going to be the way to go. But as for this morning and this episode, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you next time in Hazzard County. But until then, have a good one.